Good morning, children. In our previous class, we discussed about the role of the 0 and 1. Yes, 0 is called as the additive identity and 1 is called as the multiplicative identity. So, today in our class, we are going to learn some properties of rational numbers. This is very important class. Important topic also. Listen carefully. Properties of rational numbers. In our previous class in 6th and 7th classes, when we are learning the integers numbers, there we learn the properties of integers. And when we are learning the whole numbers, there also we discuss the properties of whole numbers in 6th and 7th classes. Yes? So like that only here we have some properties of rational numbers. That is, first one is closure property. Second one is commutative property. Third one is associative property. Fourth one is distributive property. Four properties are there: closure property, commutative property, associative property, and the distributive property. So today we are learning about the closure property of the numbers. So before that, let us again recall what are natural numbers, what are whole numbers, what are rational numbers. Okay, see here, natural numbers. Natural numbers are starts from 1. Yes, and the whole numbers are starts from 0. Next, integers. Integers are set of whole numbers, okay, along with the negative numbers or the integers, and the rational numbers. Rational numbers are in the form of P by Q. P and Q are belongs to integers, and Q does not equal to 0 are called as the rational numbers. Okay. Why I wrote here Q? Because rational numbers are denoted by the letter Q. So, next, let us learn about two symbols. Two symbols. This symbol indicates that for all. All means, if we write here this symbol, for all the numbers. That meaning is for all. For all. For all means the set of all the numbers. And this symbol indicates that belongs to. This symbol indicates that belongs to. Because always we no need to write for all. Just if we write symbol, then we can understand that for set of all the natural numbers, for the set of all the whole numbers, for the set of all the integers, like that we can understand. So, and this symbol indicates that belongs to. Okay. So, first let us discuss about the closure property. So, this closure property we will apply for 4 basic operations. What are the 4 basic operations? That is addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division. These four are called as the basic operation of the numbers. Okay, addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division. These four are called as a basic operation of the numbers. So now we are going to learn about the closure property of all the whole numbers, all the integers and all the rational numbers, and also we have to apply all the basic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, listen carefully. These properties are very important. Okay, let us check this closure property for whole numbers first. Whole numbers. So whole numbers, what are whole numbers? It starts from 0. So closure property. If A and B are belongs to whole numbers. A and B are belongs to whole numbers means here what are A and B? We can take any number. Yes, we can take any number from the whole numbers. So we should take from 0 onwards only. Yes, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From these numbers only we can take any two numbers. That is our wish. So here if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A plus B also belongs to A plus B also belongs to whole numbers. Yes, let us check. How we can check? This is a closure property under addition. Yes, already I told you we have to apply this closure property for four basic operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division. So what is the closure property? If A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A plus B also belongs to whole numbers. How we can check? We have to take different examples. Whether the resulting number also whole number, then we can conclude that yes, if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A plus B also whole number. See here, I am taking 5 is a whole number. Yes, 5 is a whole number. 6 also a whole number. That means in the place of A, I am taking 5. In the place of B, I am taking 6. So, if A and B are belongs to whole number, if 5 and 6 are belongs to whole number, tell me 5 and 6 are belongs to whole numbers? Yes, 5 and 6 are belongs to whole number. Then, is A plus B also belongs to whole number? See. What is A plus 6? 5 plus 6. Yes, 11 also belongs to whole numbers. So that means what we can conclude here, when two numbers are whole numbers, if we add the two whole numbers, the resulting number also a whole number. That is the closure property of whole numbers under addition. Is it clear? Are you understand? If two numbers are belongs to whole numbers, here I am taking, what are the two numbers? The two numbers what I am taking here is 5 and 6. You can take any example. 9 and 10 or 13, 17, 21, 100. You can take any example. Here, if 21 and 100 are belongs to whole numbers, in the place of A what I am taking? 21. In the place of B what I am taking? 100. So, if 21 and 100 are belongs to whole number, then what will become 21 plus 100? 21 plus 100? 121. Is 121 is a whole number or not? Yes, 121 is also a whole number. So, by observing these two examples, we can conclude that if two numbers are whole numbers, their sum also belongs to whole number. Yes? So, for all A and B are, if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A plus B also belongs to whole numbers. So that's why we can tell that closure property of whole numbers under addition is satisfied. Are you understand? So if we add two whole numbers, the resulting number also a whole number. Nothing is there. Only one sentence is there. When we are adding two whole numbers, the resulting number also a whole number. That is a closure property under addition. Are you understand? Okay. See here. Next, closure property under multiplication. Let us check closure property under subtraction. So, what is under addition? Closure property under addition is when we are taking two whole numbers, the sum of two whole numbers also a whole number. So, like that only, when we are subtracting two whole numbers, is the resulting number also is whole number? Let us check now. That is under subtraction. If A and B are belongs to whole numbers, if we take A and B from whole numbers, is A minus B also a belongs to whole number? Let us check this. When we are taking two whole numbers, if we subtract those two whole numbers also a whole number? Check that. See here, take any two whole numbers, that is our wish. 2 and 7 I am taking. 2 and 7. When we here 2 also a whole number, 7 also a whole number. When we are subtracting 2 and 7, 2 minus 7. 2 minus 7, what we will get? Can we subtract 7 from 2? 2 minus 7, that is minus 5. Is minus 5 is belongs to whole numbers? Minus 5 is there in the whole numbers? Let us see another example. When I am taking 7 and 2, if we subtract these two, we are getting 5. So that means closure property under subtraction is suitable only for some numbers, not for all the numbers. Yes? So here, when we are subtracting 2 from 7, we are getting 5 as the answer. But when we are subtracting 7 from 2, we are getting minus 5 as the answer. Is minus 5 is belongs to whole numbers? Is there minus 5 is there in the whole numbers? No. Yes? So, this closure property under subtraction is for the whole numbers, not suitable, not satisfies in all the situations. Are you understand? Don't get confusion. When A and B are belongs to whole numbers, if we subtract those two whole numbers, we are not getting answer as a whole number. Only some situations only we are getting whole numbers, not in the all situations. Okay, so that's why the closure property of whole numbers under subtraction is not suitable, not satisfying. So that's why when A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A minus B is not always belongs to whole numbers. Only in some situations only it is satisfied, not in all the situations. Yes? See here, what is the closure property of whole numbers under subtraction? if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A minus B not always belongs to whole numbers. So that's why closure property of whole numbers under subtraction not satisfying the condition. Yes. Now let us check the under multiplication. Same, when we are taking under addition, here we are just writing plus sign. When we are taking under subtraction, just we are doing subtraction. When we are taking under multiplication, if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, is A into B also belongs to whole number? Yes. When we are taking two whole numbers, if we multiply the two whole numbers, the resulting number also a whole number. Let us check by taking different numbers examples. Okay. See here. Here I am taking two numbers as examples. When A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A into B also belongs to whole numbers. Let us check now. Here in the place of A, I am taking 5. In the place of B, I am taking 2. We can take any numbers as examples. Here, let us check 5 and 2 are belongs to whole numbers. Yes, 5 and 2 are belongs to whole numbers. So, when two numbers are belongs to whole numbers, is their multiplication, is their product also belongs to whole number? See, when we are multiplying this A into B means 5 twos are 10. Is 10 also belongs to whole number? Yes, 10 also belongs to set of whole numbers. So that's why if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, the product of those two numbers also belongs to set of whole numbers. So that's why here we can conclude that closure property of whole numbers under multiplication is satisfying the numbers, set of whole numbers. Are you understand? Let us take one more example. In the place of A I am taking 7 and in the place of B I am taking 11. You can take any whole number. Okay, so 7 11s are 77. Is 77 belongs to set of whole numbers? Yes, 77 belongs to set of whole numbers. So that's why we can conclude that if A and B are belongs to whole numbers for all the numbers, this property is satisfying under multiplication also. Under addition also it is satisfying. Under multiplication also it is satisfying. But under subtraction it is not satisfying because only in some situation only is satisfying. In all the situations it is not satisfying. So that's why closure property of whole numbers under subtraction is not satisfying the set of whole numbers. So that's why here I wrote no. Now for all the numbers A and B which are belongs to set of whole numbers are satisfying the closure property under multiplication. Now let us check under division also. Okay? See. Don't get any confusion. When we are taking under addition, we are keeping plus sign. When we are taking under subtraction, just we are keeping minus sign. Under multiplication into, now we are going to check whether the closure property of whole numbers satisfy the under division or not. Let us check now. If A and B are belongs to whole numbers, if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, is A divided B also belongs to whole numbers? A divided by also belongs to whole numbers? Now let us check. Take any two whole numbers and divide one whole number with another one. If we get the answer, what we are getting the answer, the resulting number also a whole number, we can tell that it is satisfying. If the resulting answer is not satisfying, not belongs to whole numbers, then we can say it is not satisfying. So, see here, take any example. See, in the place of A, I am taking 20. Okay. In the place of B, I am taking 5. When we are dividing 20 with 5, 5 ones are 5 fours are. Yes, we are getting 4. Yes, 4 is a set of whole number. But when we are taking in the place of A 5, in the place of B 20, yes, then we divide A divided by B. So 5 divided by 20. 5 ones are 5 fours are. Is 1 by 4 is belongs to set of whole numbers? No, 1 by 4 is not belongs to set of whole numbers. So that's why only in some situations only. So when we are taking A is greater than B, then it is satisfying. But when we are taking B is greater than A, it is not satisfying. So that's why if A and B are belongs to whole numbers, A divided by B is does not belongs to whole numbers. Are you understand? So that's why closure property of whole numbers under division is not satisfying the set of whole numbers. So that's why we can conclude that set of whole numbers is not closure under the division. Yes, are you understand? This is the closure property of whole numbers under addition, under subtraction, under multiplication, under division. So, when we add two whole numbers, the resulting answer also a whole number. When we multiply two whole numbers, the resulting answer also belongs to whole numbers. But when we subtract or divide two whole numbers, the resulting numbers always may not be a whole number. Only in some situations only it will become possible. So that's why closure property of whole numbers satisfies under only addition and the multiplication. Yes, is it clear? Now, same closure property under addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, let us apply for integers also. Yes, and after that, same closure property for rational numbers, we have to check under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division also. If you understand this one, then it will become very easy to apply this property under 4 basic operations. Okay, same. Now let us apply this closure property under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division for the integers. And after that, rational numbers. Okay, it is very lengthy class. So only one property only we are discussing now. Closure property under whole numbers only, just now we are completed. Same like that only. Now closure property under closure property of integers. Closure property of integers. So let us check closure property of integers under addition, under subtraction, under multiplication and under division. So before applying this property, we must know what are integers. Set of all the positive and the negative numbers. Okay, so now under addition, so what is the closure property under addition? If A and B are belongs to, when we are discussing about the whole number properties, we wrote there W because whole numbers are denoted by the letter W. Here we are discussing for integers numbers. So if A and B are belongs to integers, A and B also belongs to integer. For that, you take different examples and verify that. Take in the place of A -2 and in the place of B +5. Now add these two numbers. -2 plus 5. -2 plus 5, that is 3. Is 3 belongs to set of integers? Yes, 3 also belongs to set of integers. So that's why when A and B are belongs to integers, the sum of A and B also belongs to set of integers. So you can take any example. This satisfies the integer set. So that's why here I am keeping for all the set of integers. When the two numbers are belongs to integers, if we add all the integers, again we will get the set of integers only. Now same under subtraction. Okay, see, if A and B are belongs to integers, is A minus B also belongs to integers? Under subtraction is we have to do the subtraction. Check the different examples. 3 minus 2, 1. Yes, 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 3, minus 1. Let us take A is equal to 3, B is equal to minus 2. Now do A minus B, 3 minus B. 3 minus of minus 2 plus 2, that is equal to 5. Is 5 is belongs to set of integers? Yes. So that's why when A and B are belongs to set of integers, A minus B also belongs to set of integers. So like that only you take different examples. If A and B are belongs to integers, now let us check under multiplication. If A and B are belongs to set of integers, let us check A into B also belongs to set of integers. Yes, if you multiply any two integers, the resulting answer also a set of integers. Now under division. If A and B are belongs to integers, is A divided B also belongs to integers? See here, I am taking one number as minus 15, another number is 3. When we are dividing minus 15 by 3, we are getting minus 5 as the answer. Yes, minus 5 is a set of integers. But when we are dividing the 3 with minus 15, it is not possible. We are getting the rational number there. Yes, so that's why when we divide two integers, we won't get always, not in all conditions, we won't get the integers. So I hope you understand the closure property of whole numbers and the integers under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So what you have to do is same property you have to apply for the rational numbers also. under addition, if A and B are belongs to set of rational numbers, is A plus B also belongs to set of rational numbers? You take different examples and see that whether this statement is satisfying or not. You take different examples and check the result. Then under subtraction, if A and B are belongs to rational numbers, is A minus B also belongs to rational numbers? Check that like that only. Under multiplication and under division. Okay, take different examples. Take different types of examples. Take two rational numbers. Rational numbers means nothing but fractions. In that we can take the integers also, numerator and denominator. So the resulting answer also we are getting rational number or not. Check. And for under addition, for under subtraction, under multiplication, under division, this closure property is satisfying the rational numbers or not, you have to check at home. Okay. Thank you. I hope you understand today's class, and don't forget to take the examples and try to write the conclusion for this closure property of rational numbers under addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division. Just today we discussed only about the closure property. We have three more properties, that is commutative and associative and the distributive properties also. Okay, so don't get confused. This is very important class. Thank you.